Hi everyone, I'm Devleena and I welcome all of you to the latest episode of Icons Behind Brands, where we bring you insights from the experts from advertising and marketing industries. And in this episode, we have Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay with us, who is a co-founder and director of business at Emot.ai and co-founder and partner at Expereal India, a seasoned marketing professional with 22 years of experience. Avik has a diverse background that spans across various domains, including marketing, business management, branding, product development, merger and acquisition, and turnarounds. So, having been part of some of the most memorable product and brand launches, as well as merger and acquisitions, Avik brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to the table. So let's join in Avik's journey and learn from his vast experience and insights. So it's pleasure having you, Mr. Avik.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure for me to be on this platform. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and a warm welcome to Icons Behind Brands. And I'm excited to know about you, your vast journey, your background. So it would be great if you start from, where you have started, your little bit about your childhood, and then we will come to the professional side of yours.
Okay, yeah, it's best to start from there, because typically how you grow up as a child has a huge bearing on what you do as a professional.
Very true.
I belong to a family, a small family. Okay, just my parents and I.
Okay.
And my father was a bureaucrat, and my mother initially was a homemaker. And that made me actually go across different parts of the country as a child. Okay, so I have lived in places like Bokaro, Jalandhar, Jammu, Allahabad, and a few years in Kolkata, and obviously a large part of my later life in Delhi. Okay, eventually settling down in Gurgaon. So life as a kid was hugely adventurous for me, because being the only child, you could do a lot of stuff that you wanted, right? And also your parents were always doting after you. So obviously within their means, they always gave you what you wanted, right? And at the same time, what happens is every parent has a set of expectations. So all the expectations also seem to come all on you as the only child. So it's an amazing balance of all the love and all the expectation. And it was interesting because you grow up, and in your growing up years, you actually meet and mix with different kinds of people, right? So as a kid of, I think, 5 or 6 years of age, I knew how to speak Punjabi because I was in Jalandhar.
You were in Jalandhar.
Right? And so I picked up Punjabi, and obviously, being outside, I mean, I'm a Bengali, but I'm what is typically called a Provashi Bengali. So I possibly spent cumulative of only 2 years out of my 53 years in Kolkata.
Okay.
Right? So for me, it's very natural to converse in Hindi. Okay, it's very natural to converse in a bit of the Eastern UP language.
Super. So amazing. I would also love to know about your professional journey.
Caltex was basically a joint venture. Itself was a joint venture between Chevron and Texaco, two very, very large oil companies. Okay. But we were operating in India as a complete startup. You talk of startups today, I'm talking about startup experience in 1994. Okay, where you really had nothing, you had to set up almost everything. Okay, so you had to set up vendors to make cartons for you, to make HDPE bottles for you, to make labels for you. You had to work with vendors to set up, the entire bottling line and the filling line and the capping line and everything for you. On the other hand, you had to set up distributors who would further go ahead and set up dealers and retailers. So it was really exciting. really, really exciting, because you suddenly got into, it's like you get into a small place and you end up being a part of almost everything that's happening there. Okay, so except for finance, okay, in every other function, okay, I had to contribute something or the other. So it was amazing learning for me. Okay, a learning which possibly I wouldn't have gotten Maruti then, because Maruti was already very large. Because there were fixed roles. So I, as a person in marketing, couldn't go across to someone in vendor development. So this is about Emot.ai. It's still work in progress. It's at its inception stage. We are trying to basically get funding for doing the piloting, and we think it's something which, if it happens, when it happens, will be truly unique, because it'll be possibly the first time that emotions have actually been mapped, and then you put those emotions or those, let's say, those reactions into an AI engine. Okay, so let's say you and I are having this conversation. Okay, so our conversations would be recorded, right? And words would be used, nuances would be used. So you'll use neurosciences, and so we'll use video, we'll use audio. Okay, so there'll be tracking of gesture, there'll be tracking of intonations, there'll be tracking of words, phrases used, which will go through an AI engine and will tell you that, okay, fine, so this is the emotion that I am going through right now. Vis-a-vis, this is the emotion that you are going through right now.
Okay, that's why Emot.
Yeah, that's right. So it'll possibly end up saying that you are by now thoroughly bored of what I'm saying, and it'll possibly say that I am possibly not being able to understand that you're getting bored of what I'm saying. So that kind of stuff.
Okay, awesome. So we are talking about AI. So let's quickly, dive into, like, AI and marketing has been the talk from some time, and especially after Chat GPT and all. So
right,
we have been talking about the benefits. I would also like to know from you, what are the limits does AI have in marketing?
See, as long as we understand that AI is yet another tool, is yet another medium for marketing, it will not become a Frankenstein. The moment we think the AI is the solution, not just the means but also the end, it'll become like a Frankenstein. So tomorrow, if you start thinking that I will, if you want to compose general emails using AI, that's fine. But if you really want to respond to customer complaints, specific customer complaints, okay, using Chat GPT, and you're going to leave everything to Chat GPT to go ahead and write back to your customer, it will completely boomerang. Okay, it's a time bomb. Yeah. Waiting to go off. Because we have to understand, this is just like, digital. At some point of time, digital was almost like the end. It is not the end. Digital is just the means. Okay. In my grandfather's time, print was the means. Okay. In my father's time, radio was the means. When I was a kid, television was the means. That was not the end. At the end of the day, you have to use the means to create the right content. Okay, you have to create the right content. You have to moderate the right content. And you also have to understand, okay, and always apply filters of that content because at the end of the day, it's you who's creating the content, because you are an individual, which again has a certain emotional makeup. AI does not have that emotional makeup. Right. So AI is robotic. Okay, so AI is like an android. It does not have that. It does not have your emotional makeup. It has an emotional makeup supposedly of 1 million people. Okay, and an extract has been taken out that this is how typically 1 million people would respond and react. But you as an individual wouldn't react that way. So tomorrow, if you actually have AI respond on your behalf, okay, to your friends, they will realize this is not Devleena writing. This is someone else writing. Yeah.
It cannot replace human, for sure.
It cannot. It just cannot replace. It is a medium. So as long as marketers understand that it is a medium, and as long as developers work with marketers in making it a more robust medium, it'll work. It'll definitely work. It'll be under your control. I mean, today, but you see, for example, I mean, digital has gone a bit out of control. Okay, so someone actually creates fake ads, like they did for, I think, VIP Skybags. Okay, someone created a fake ad of VIP Skybags about love jihad, and that got VIP into trouble. Today, technology allows you to do all that, and that is what is the most fearsome part. So tomorrow's battles are not going to be fought on the ground. Tomorrow's battles will be fought in the mind through your devices. Okay, and that's why regulation is so important. Regulation does not mean policing. Regulation basically means nurturing and mentoring.
Right.
That's my perspective about it.
That's true. These are important. Regulations are important to keep the process streamlined and keep it intact, right? So I think it's this is a tool which is made to help you, but it is not meant to replace you. It cannot do that, right?
Exactly.
So Mr. Avik, you have also recently released a book called 52 at 52, which is very interesting. The title is very interesting. So what is that all about? I'm curious to know about that.
Yeah, thanks for asking this, because I've been writing on various platforms. Okay, so I write in the Economic Times. I used to write in Business World. I write on an interesting marketing and media platform called MXM India. I write in Autocar, and a few other places. And I guess with the onset of COVID, when I had a little bit more time because I was at home, so all the travel was cut out. So you had lots of thoughts, lots of ideas, and COVID also threw up lots of more emotions, I guess, in all of us as individuals, right? And we've channelized them in our own ways. So I channelized all that in writing. And so I started writing, and writing and regularly contributing, and then I thought that, okay, fine. So they've now got published over a certain period of time. So why don't I curate a few of those articles and put them together as a compilation? Okay, because then if I put them as a compilation, people will find one place, okay, to read about the various things I've written, various subjects I've covered, and they've covered right from, say, the automobile industry to branding to marketing to socioeconomics to governance, society, all those aspects. Okay, they would have one place where they can go and possibly read it all, and form their own opinion. And that's where actually the idea came from my mother. Okay, I mean, she said, why don't you just make a compilation? And because I was 52 years of age then when COVID happened, and she said, well, it'll be good if you can pick up 52 of your articles that you choose. And that's what I did. So that's why it's 52 at 52.
Okay, that's
all. So it's 52 essays written by me in the 52nd year of my life during COVID. And then I went across to Notion Press and I got it published. And well, it's got good feedback. And good feedback in the sense people have liked what I've written. Not everybody has to agree with what I've said. But at least it's made people think. It's made people debate within themselves. It's made people even debate with me on various issues and aspects. And I think it's actually helped people also understand the mind of an average Indian, much better in the times of COVID. So that's what the book is all about.
Super. Awesome, Mr. Avik. So I think we had a wonderful conversation in this, but I would also want you to, we have audience which are, from the business community, startup owners, business owners, people from the marketing industry, students from these schools, a lot of aspiring marketing professionals. So what is your message for the aspiring marketing professionals?
Aspiring marketing professionals, I would say, and these are basically things that I have learned over my years, which is first and foremost, there is nothing called work-life balance. Work is a part of life.
That's right.
It's basically life balance. Right? Do not allow your work to completely, take control of your life. Okay, because, and I guess COVID has also taught us that much more, that let's experience much more with our life as of now, at present. There's a lot more that we can actually do with our loved ones, with our dear ones, with our friends, as of now, at present. Okay, so firstly, there's nothing called work-life balance.
That's right.
It's basically life. So that's one thing. The second thing about marketers, I would say, specifically for marketers, always look at your role from the perspective of the consumer. Okay, because that is what you really bring to the organization. You can never ever allow any other function in the organization to actually ride roughshod over you. Okay, saying that no, you need to think from the organization's perspective. As a marketer, you always need to think from the consumer's perspective.
Very true.
Okay, and because that is your crucial role. Like in society, you have something called the Lokpal in governance. Okay, where the Lokpal is almost like the gatekeeper and the conscience keeper. Okay, you guys are the conscience keeper and the gatekeepers to the organization. Right? And that is extremely important. So do not allow the person in finance, do not allow the person in production, do not allow the person in product planning or manufacturing or vendor development or procurement to ride roughshod over you, saying that this is the way the organization has to function, and therefore you need to recast yourself in the way the organization thinks. The organization has to think from the perspective of the customer.
Right.
So that's the second thing. And the last thing I would basically say is, your role allows you to basically expand your horizons. Okay, because you are like the window that opens out. Right? So expand that window, make that window become as large as possible. Because there's so much more to see. There is so much more to hear, there's so much more to experience. Okay, and the bigger the window you have, the more is the cool breeze that also comes in, and the scents and the aromas and everything that also come in. Okay, so always remember that. And so as a marketer, you are also a brand.
Right.
So do not try to live anybody else's life. Just live your own life.
That's very true. Very true and profound, Mr. Avik, and I could relate to it, and I would say that this is coming from your real experiences. All the advices, what you said, that work-life balance is a myth. And ask me, I believe the same thing. When people ask me, how do you balance your life and work? So I don't balance it. I just do when what is required at that time, and that's how we have been balancing life. As you said, we just have to focus on the life. right? So I think these are coming from a real-time experiences, ground level experiences, and these are the profound knowledge for our aspiring marketing professional and the existing marketing professionals as well. And I think we had a wonderful conversation and huge experience which you had. And I was actually, mesmerized with so many different aspects which you have experienced, gathered information, and you have processed, and you have actually shared it with us. So I think it was fulfilling and enriching for us. And thank you.